What is going on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook? We're live on all 3 platforms at H2O Plants. Today we're going to be doing a live aquascaping stream with Kevin from Brooklyn Hardscapes. That's Kevin. Very large man. Some of you may have seen him before, some of you may not. Actually, I don't think you've been here since Joey's videos got up.
No.
Right? No? You haven't? Okay, so we got about 2,500 new people, so...
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank you. So there's probably people here seeing you for the first time, so... what's going on, guys, on Facebook and all that. So on YouTube, we're going to bring the camera down low so you guys can see the scapes. What we're going to do is we're going to keep the stream on Facebook and Instagram so you can see us. So if you want to watch it, you know, from the different angles, you can go ahead and pull those up if you want. And yeah, so let me lower the camera over here and we'll get started. Can you guide me over there? Just look at the thing.
Okay.
Good?
Good.
Bring it closer.
Yeah, but just drop it down a little lower.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Are we good? What's going on, guys? Let me stop this. Okay. We're good. We're good, we're good, we're good.
Okay.
Alright, so Kevin brought some aquascaping supplies with him today. And I'm going to go to the channel here.
Well, as always, I take anybody want to try a new scape and you want to see me take a crack at it, absolutely will try it. I think today we're going to... I was here over a month ago. I busted
like 3
out,
weeks ago.
I busted out about 7 scapes in a couple hours. And they're all pretty simple scapes, so we're going to try to talk about taking things to the next level this time.
Okay.
Thinking a little outside the box. I know that a lot of people struggle with when they look online and they see these beautiful scapes and they try to play Tetris with their stones and really struggle, sometimes scratch their tanks. It's glass scratch is like the thing that drives me nuts the most. So we're going to talk about different options.
I like that. My laptop's not working, so bear with me.
I'll talk about, this is actually about 5 pieces of stone that I cemented together. I did my own version of the pietà. I never let it grow in all the way because I needed it for other stuff. So if you can look at this, let's see, show it here. You can see that there's still, you can see some of the cement around the back. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a scape using alternate materials. This was built with cement. So you can see, you can show it. You can see it's cemented together. And then for a demo that I did, a prototype that I'm working on is something simple like this. This is so that you can do something a little bit different, something a little more exciting, not your normal nature aquarium. A lot of times when you see these tanks that are scaped, you see them in competitions, they're just this part, the front panel. You don't see what's going on outside the tank, and what's going outside the tank is always just as exciting what's going on inside. Always thinking outside the tank, building stuff around the tank, having things come out, so let's do some scapes like that today. Unless anybody wants to see anything specific, and Justin, I guess you'll read the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So let's...
Get my laptop to work. Okay.
Uh-oh. So I think, I don't even know what to do. I guess we'll use this. It's a nice flat back. So you can have a nice... I wish I could see what I'm doing. I'm looking at the screen.
Over there, you can see it.
Ah.
The one on the bottom left.
Bottom left.
That's the live feed, yeah.
So what this is great for is you can take some wood, you can position it in the rock so you have a nice little arch going, and then I will use zip ties to hold it together if it's going to be something a little more permanent.
So what is this, acrylic?
Yeah, this is just plexiglass that, it's a prototype, so I was impatient, so I used a jigsaw to cut it, so it's pretty beat up. The cut is terrible.
Right.
But this end you can tell that I used a plexiglass knife. It's nice and smooth, still a little wiggly. That fits there perfectly. It's got a little give. You want a little bit of space between the glass because capillarity will cause the water to actually travel up the plexiglass and out of the tank.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. And you're breaking my stuff, Kevin.
I am breaking your stuff.
Breaking my stuff.
Let's see what kind of wood we can use.
Don't spell this on the computer, please. Thank you.
Being careful this time.
What's up, guys, on Instagram? How's it going? What's up, Matthew? What's up, Matt? David? What's going on, guys? I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm trying to get the chat brought up on the computer, but it's giving me an issue here, so give me just a moment. Yeah, I understand that it has low battery. Why aren't you charging? Why? So this is basically like to allow it so you can angle it upwards and like something for it to hold on to.
Yeah, and some of the, I mean, I've used this thing a couple times now, and what's nice is that, and I'll show you in a second, you don't have to have it touching anything. It can just be a wonderful little floating mystery.
And this is Manzanita?
It's Manzanita.
Manzanita one. And then this is what, Cereal?
Yeah. So we can get a nice...
The laptop is not working. It's not cooperating. It's a new charger that I'm trying, so... Let's see, maybe that'll work.
Can you handle the zip ties? Just in case I decide to use them.
Oh, I notice you, Octo Nation. What's up?
You want to see that?
Yeah, that looks cool. Cool as hell. Who is Muscleman over there? That's Kevin. He is a professional aquascaper. Octonation is jealous.
Why?
Because he's got a man crush on me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for the public. Take one for the team.
Yeah. I don't understand why my laptop doesn't want to work right now. Crap. Oh, so fancy.
So that's you have a nice, and then you can take. If you really want to go nuts, you can. The idea is that you probably can't see us on YouTube, but you can probably work something out like this, and then now you have something a little more out of the box, a little bit different. If you really wanted to go crazy, you could get some wicking fabric like Hydrolon. You could line it before you put the sticks on. It'll bring the water up to the plexiglass, and then you can just have moss. It'll just grow, cover the whole thing. This is kind of being a little bit different, you know. I mean, this is just thrown together. I think if I was actually scaping this, I'd probably be trying to.
What would you do in this as far as plants, like around that scape?
Oh, I think something like this would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do. Probably a lot of moss, and then maybe some baby dwarf tears in here, a little bit in the front, but a lot of rubble. You don't need a plant, something like this. Just something gentle and simple.
Alright, I think I got my computer working.
You know, you can even. What's nice about this is you can even go underneath. So then. this on top. Does anybody actually want to see me use the zip ties? I can do that.
Yes, waste all the zip ties and then have to get them off.
Oh, that's why you have a knife.
Amber, I will definitely let Margaret know you said hi. YouTube, I'm coming. It's finally going here, I think. It says I got 2% battery.
You know, it's just simple stuff. It's got a nice little cascade feel.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, take some glue and you can probably match it. Something like that.
Any ideas on how safe forest wood is for a freshwater tank? Any thoughts?
Depends on the wood. I would definitely avoid pine at all costs. Pine doesn't really come out of the wood easily, and you don't want that getting the fish gills. You don't want it hurting your filtration all around. Anything sappy. A lot of sap is just bad. Let's see what else we can do.
YouTube chat needs love. I'm getting it up right now. We're right there. It's literally loading. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Alright. Nope. That's all I want to do. Show chat. Alright.
Another great way to get nice lift is, this is one of my favorite things to do. It's just a filter media bag. It's a 99-cent filter media bag. Plastic zipper, $10 worth of, or 10 pounds worth of lava stone put in these bags, and you can get some lift. Gives you a little bit of mobility, so that you know, it kind of fits in each other. You can force it, and I guess I'll just keep using this. You know, try not to spill things.
Yeah, it's really good. Alright guys, I can now see the YouTube chat. So what's up, HC Aqua, Helen? Helen's here. It's 2 a.m. where she is. She's watching us. That's dedication. I appreciate you, Helen.
You can get a nice little...
The water box is here. What's up, water box?
It's a good name.
I know. You know what's funny? When I was thinking of the company name for H2O Plants, I wanted Waterbox, and then I found his YouTube channel. I'm like, gosh darn it.
Heck.
Yeah. He took the cool name. I wanted it.
Man, I gotta clean these stones.
Let's see. Thirsty Rabbit says, hi H2O, hi all. It's in my plans to do nanos like these one day. Top stream, thank you. Or thank you.
Again, use this cemented piece.
Yeah, so you pretty much just added like a 6-inch gap without needing any substrate.
Yeah.
Which is a huge cost savings because lava rock is cheap compared to anything, really. Can you point the camera down so we can see a bit of the scape? Well, Zach, we're actually also streaming on YouTube. If you want to head on over to youtube.com/H2O Plants, you can find the full-on view from there, and you can see it directly, like head on, and see what Kevin's doing. H2O Plants is the perfect name. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, what's the damn dogs doing? Helen says, surely with 48 viewers, we can get more than 12 likes. I appreciate that, Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
I think we can definitely get more than 12 likes. Justin, the water box is also an aquarium company. I found out that it's new. It looks like then they make acrylic tanks and stuff. Oh.
So, I mean, again, these are just quick scapes. I can't see the front of it.
Well, it looks cool. It looks like you have like a little cave right here. That's really sick looking. Although, so this is a 10-gallon aquarium. That takes up probably about like 5 gallons of the volume.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It would be a nice shrimp tank. I mean, I see a lot of people claim, "Oh, Shrimp Mountain." That's actually a mountain right there. That ain't.
Actually, I think I like.
What's up, Martin? What's up, David?
I like it better this way.
Would you plant that scape?
Oh yeah. I've been really into doing because I've worked a lot. I did 18 tanks in 21 days before Christmas. So right now, where my head is at all the time is how simple can I go?
Well, that's the thing. So I don't know if you saw on Instagram. I posted this guy's 12-foot. No, what was it? It was 4 meters long, or more than 4 meters. So what is that?
Jeez.
That's a 12-foot long tank, I think, or a little over 12 foot. Huge tank, discus and neon tetras.
Oh, I did see that.
But 3 plants it looks like he used. It looks like contortion valve, micro sword, and like some sort of moss. And that was it. But like it's so amazing how simple you can make beautiful scapes. Like you don't have to, you know, like my 55-gallon has like 60 different plants in it. That's so freaking complex. Oh, we lost the Instagram feed. My phone died or something. It went down. Anyway, yeah, so like you could just go super simple and still make beautiful scapes. You don't need all these like extra things.
Well, when you order the Ultim 21-gallon long for me, it's going to be a super simple scape. 3 plants, very basic. I already have it all planned out.
Are you going to do it no CO2?
No, I'm going to do CO2. Oh, yeah.
Do no CO2.
No.
No, come on.
No.
No, because people, listen, I think people need to see a scape that you could do and make it look nice without CO2. I think that would be inspirational.
But I do them all the time.
Well, but this is one that we're actually going to like show off and shit, so.
We will. I'll do it. I'm going to do a nano tank though if I'm going to do no CO2.
How much would all those rocks cost? Well, it really depends. So, like, you could buy rocks in bulk, and they're typically cheaper. But, like, if you were to buy something like Kevin makes these scapes, we sell these online. But obviously, you know, you're paying a bit more because Kevin's spending time to hand select stones, put them together, and stuff like that. But on average, there you could find stone anywhere between $3 and $6 a pound. Typically, I think is like the going rate plus shipping. So it's not super expensive. You know, if you want to just take a whack at Aquascaping, we sell bulk stone. You can just ask me. It's not up on the website yet. But if you just want, you know, say 10, 20 pounds for a tank, we can ship you that. What would you say?
A little better?
Yeah, that looks cool. Lots of little nooks and crannies. Yes. What would you say is a good pound to tank ratio, or pound to gallon ratio as far as stone goes? Because I typically think like if you have like a 10-gallon tank, you should probably order like 15 to 20 pounds of stone to have extra. Like if you only order 10 pounds.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. I mean,
well, you order a lot, but like you get a lot of stone. But like, what would you think like to do like an average 10-gallon skateboard? Like, what would you recommend? If somebody would, you know, said only had, you know, X amount of dollars, they weren't trying to
I would start at 15 pounds.
15 pounds?
Depending on the stone, like this is Ciro, it's it's really dense. But if you get 15 pounds of Oko, it's twice as much as 15 pounds of Ciro.
Right, so Cirio you might want slightly more, Oko you could probably go less.
You get like 10 pounds, 8 pounds.
Right, yeah, because Oko, each stone has its different weights essentially. Like one piece of this is, you could fit double the dragon stone.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For the same weight. So.
Has anybody asked for any specific scapes done?
Let's see. Alan says I prefer wood to rock, but that looks pretty mint. Simple is better most often. I've been looking at Dutch style scapes maybe next year. Bob the Builder needs Justin to What's the cheapest stone? Probably lava rock. If you're gonna, you could do a scape of lava rock, and I mean, we have the scape. Although people didn't like your.
That's because you made me put that arch in there.
I like the arch.
I know you like the arch.
It reminded me of something that you'd see in California. I love that arch.
That was 100% you.
Well,
I take no responsibility.
I mean, you did do it, so I mean, you're partially to blame. So, yeah. So cheapest stone would probably be lava rock. You could make some pretty cool stuff out of lava rock.
Oh yeah, you can carve it. You get the right kind of drill.
The trick is find bigger pieces, and then you can go crazy with them. You could essentially carve all the same type of stuff into it, like Cerio and Dragonstone. You can just,
And I wouldn't suggest that that's a lot of work.
Wow. I mean, if somebody really wanted to get like a nice looking thing going with lava rock, they certainly could. The ones you pick up on the side of the road.
As long as you test them.
Have you ever gotten stones like out of like?
Oh yeah.
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 Any particular time? Like, is there like different kinds of wood? Obviously, like.
I'm always wary of wood, but stone, as long as it passes the muric acid test, yeah, go for it.
Gen G says, speaking of Oko Stone, where are we supposed to be seeing some Dragonstone escapes this time around? I think last time we.
Oh yeah, I had a client break down his tank. He's moving, and I hadn't seen his tank for a long time, so I got I got all of his Oko Stone, but he had a real bad BBA problem.
Right.
So we gotta clean that.
So what does that have to do with Dragonstone escapes?
It's all Dragonstone.
But they want to see Dragonstone.
I don't have the Dragonstone, so I have to clean that.
I have Dragonstone.
Oh yeah, you have that. But yeah, but that needs to be broken up and.
Well, maybe we might have a. Let me see. We might have something. We might have something. Is this the dragon or is this the Cerio? You could probably do something with this. There's the one really big piece, but you got a couple.
We can do something.
Yeah.
Does she want to see Dragonstone that bad? We can do it.
I do remember this person, Jen, specifically asking last time, could we do Dragonstone? And you gave her the same excuse. I don't wanna.
I'm Dragonstone burned out. I think it's a problem.
Kevin, this is for entertainment purposes. We are the monkeys and we must dance. Oh, Margaret's watching. Hey, baby. Alright, let's see. Somebody says 3-point Iwagami. Or Iwagumi.
Iwagumi? I can do Iwagumi.
Teresa says nice, or Therese says nice, Kevin. Oh, is that Teresa Neal?
Yeah, I bet it is.
She was just in, I think where Esther is. Where's that, Germany?
Netherlands?
Netherlands? Yeah. Holland?
I just wanted to show how easy, like, the stuff that you can make. If you look around, you look at what other hobbies use, construction companies. I got this from a construction company, this idea. Putting it on I-beams to, kind of control, like, almost like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Like, so these guys had these things that pop off really easy at I-beams, and they were using them to put on the corners of the I-beams to, like, use the steps. It was pretty cool.
Right.
I looked at it and I was like, oh, I can do this. I can use this for an aquarium.
What plants look good with lava rock? High tech or low tech?
Anything. I mean, lava rock, the beauty of lava rock is that it, anything can grow on it.
Right.
So, like,
it's very porous. So
yeah.
moss and anubis and all these plants that would be good attached to rocks and driftwood would do really well. Helen has a question for Kevin. What features do you look for when choosing rock?
It depends on the scape and the size of the tank that I'm using it in. I'm really a big fan of the laws of perspective. So, you know, if I have a deep tank, for instance, I'll definitely want half my stone to have almost smooth, not very detailed. The other half to be extremely detailed, so that I can build up that visual illusion of depth. How does that look? Yeah, I'm just not escaping well tonight.
No. That looks good. Yeah. Do you have a favorite type of scape?
No. My favorite type of scape is the scape where a customer says, "Go wild." I'll like whatever you do. That's my favorite kind of
What do you have going at your house right now? Like, what kind of scapes?
I have no scapes except for one tank right now.
You only got one tank?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I have tanks running. They're just kind of holding plants. But, yeah, I started my IAPLC tanks, and then I was gonna try to get 2 tries.
Right.
For that's just sitting in traffic, and I'm staring at give you a little hint of what I'm doing. Sitting in traffic, and I'm staring at some igneous rock that had been folded into seminary rock, and so I'm going to do something with that. So I guess I'll do the Iwagumi, and then from there I will do some Oko.
Victor says he wants to see an Oko 3-point Iwagumi.
Oh, Oko.
Yeah.
Iwagumi, huh?
Well, the other person just... Well, one person said Iwagami, so you could do that wherever. This guy wants 3-point Dragonstone Iwagami, and then the other person wants Dragonstone Scapes.
I really hate doing Iwagumis in this size tank.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. Swagga Skywalker says, what's a good place to get wood from for our tanks? Well, we sell wood. We sell spiderwood and Malaysian driftwood. I'm working on getting Malaysian wood possibly in a couple months, but I have to order that by the pallet full. So if I order it, it's going to be a lot. But we may have some Malaysian as well soon, or some Manzanita as well. So, do you have a least favorite type of scape?
Iwagumis. That actually is true. They're easy to do well. They are not. That makes sense.
It's like the Guru wants to know: are we located in New York City? If yes, do I deliver or can I pick up some of the plants? So we're located in Hillside, New Jersey, next to Newark. If you're local to that, you're more than welcome to schedule a pickup. I usually meet people down the block, obviously, I don't want people coming to my house, but
I'm not going to do Iwagumi ghost stone.
No.
It's just it's going to take forever because you got to...
do you need more sand?
No.
I have more sand.
No, it's not about sand. It's about...
No.
They're all so thin,
Right.
jagged.
Right.
So normally what I would do is I would take a piece of plexiglass before I put the sand down, do the stone work, and then I use like reef epoxy to put the stones where I want them to be.
Okay.
But it's just going to be too much.
Okay.
We only have an hour, so it's...
Yeah. But yeah, if you wanted to come pick up, you're more than welcome to. If not, I do ship. So.
The shipping in New York City is a day, right?
Yeah. Worst scape type is the 2 neon green fake plants and some weird center decoration.
I wasn't going to say that. I don't want to offend anybody.
Jared says we have good quality spiderwood. Well, thank you very much, Jared. Do a Dutch scape. Yeah, we're right down we're 15 minutes away from the aquatic experience. I'm debating on hosting a little like after party here or something.
Not if I do it first.
Where are you gonna host it? You have one tank. Nobody wants to come see your little 5-gallon beta tank, alright?
I have the 12-gallon long.
Excuse me. 12
Hey,
gallons.
man.
12 gallons.
This is my healthiest tank.
What are you trying to say? What are you implying here, Kevin? What's up, Maritza?
Sure.
Do you know what plant spiderwood comes from and where it grows naturally? I don't know. Do you know? Actually, I do.
It's a root.
It's a root?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Do you know what tree it's from?
I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head. I've been told a couple of different things, actually. I recently was told that some spiderwood is actually from grapevines.
But I thought grapevine breaks down really quickly.
I'm drawing a blank on the name. Is Jake watching?
No, Jake's MIA. I don't know where Jake is.
I'm about to say, Jake, bring me food.
Right?
Margaret can't cook for me.
Yeah. She's upstairs sleeping. She slept all day. She's still sleeping.
She's a big woman.
Full.
Big with baby.
Yeah.
Margaret, don't hurt me.
She's gonna come down here and be like, "You think I'm big, Kevin?" Azalea?
Oh yeah, no. Well, hazelwood is really great to use. But azalea sounds right.
What spiderwood's from? Really? I have azaleas outside.
That's the root. That's the root.
That's like azalea, the flower bush, right?
I think so. I don't have all the answers, man. Just some of them.
Kevin, you were supposed to be an encyclopedia of knowledge here. You failed. As the wild Kevin places the wood around the stone.
I'm telling you, the funniest thing I've ever heard Mike Bernard say when he was white knuckling at me in traffic, and he was like, the Brooklynite, his natural habitat.
Pretty much.
Now I gotta be careful because last time I was in New Jersey, I got a ticket. Your state sucks.
Yeah. Well, New York isn't any better. You know how they have these white vans that they park with
Cameras in them.
cameras
Yeah.
on the vans.
Yeah.
You don't even know that it's one of those stoplights. I'm like, that's some sneaky stuff.
That's because the state troopers are taking over the highways.
Yeah. Are there any interesting pieces of Mopani wood? I like how it works in tanks, just never looks very interesting.
It's all about how you use it.
I've gotten a couple pieces in from my supplier. It all lays flat, so I don't even know how you really, it doesn't, it's like just flat.
Yeah, but you can do some really great stuff with that, especially if you have a low, long tank and you get a nice big piece of Mopani wood and having it come out immersed like James Finley, continuing attorney, I forget the name of the tank. But, who, by the way, James Finley, very simple scapes, very beautiful, right on. If you're not checking him out, you should, especially if you're a beginner. He's a great guy to look at. The Green Machine on YouTube is his company. Short little British man, really good style.
Alex says, yep, spiderwood is azalea roots from fancy branding. Well, with fancy branding.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I said that, it sounded right. I blanked out on that.
Guess who's about to have a bunch of azalea bushes?
Yeah, you're gonna cut them down and take the roots off?
Yep.
Oops, sorry.
We're not using them for the flowers. We're using them for the roots. No, we got to drive around the neighborhood and rip up everybody's azaleas and just hack the roots off and take them.
I am completely willing to do that.
Well, they have to dry out though, right?
Mm-hmm. You put a salt. You put them in a big pile of salt. You bury the wood. Salt draws out all the moisture out of the wood, and you can cure it faster that way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Kids, don't dig up your parents' azalea bushes for spiderwood.
Kids, definitely dig up your parents' azalea bushes for cheap spiderwood.
Best thing to do is hit up Home Depot or Lowe's and ask for their dead azalea bushes they've got in pots. That's not good.
Yeah, you gotta be careful though. They get mad at you after a while. I used to harass IKEA and Red Hook for dead bonsai trees to try to use.
What's wrong with short Brits, Kevin?
I was saying James Finley's great. He's a little short Brit though, you know. It's fine. You got a problem? You come see me. was a bouncer for a long time. Short British men were one of the things that made my life very difficult.
Lorenzo says, I need to escape my 75-gallon fancy goldfish tank. What kind of wood or rock should I start with?
I mean, anything you want. Sky's the limit. I guess that's kind of the point of what I wanted to talk about today was, you know, looking at all the scapes on the internet. Remember that, you know, especially a lot of these the newer tanks coming out of like China, somebody had to have the idea, I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to make a cave out of sticks with a high incline or whatever. Like, just do whatever pops in your head. I think the smartest thing that I ever did was I stopped looking at other scapes and started looking at photographs, going back to my roots and looking at the Renaissance artists. That's where I get most of my inspiration now. And a lot of it's just converting these shapes that you see around you into like a natural aquarium.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what we did with Lucky's tank, every goldfish person you speak to would say you can't do what we did. But we did, and that tank's worked out perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah? I haven't done anything to it.
I know.
Listen, that tank's running phenomenally. No water changes, no maintenance.
Oh, the Uwagumi, right?
Fish are doing great, you know.
Let's talk about an Uwagumi. I've heard two different things. It's either, you know, you gotta have the 3 to 5 to 7, I think, different stones. They have to be set up a certain way. I'd rather go Iwagumi-esque, almost that way. Again, following the rules, it's good to know the rules so that you can break them.
And an Iwagami scape is, it only has like one carpeting, right? It doesn't have...
Yeah, normally it's all about simplicity and beauty. The simpler the better. So, let's see what I got here. Normally when somebody asks me to do one, after, you know, like going into a closet and yelling into a pillow, I try to make it as simple as possible. For me, I think the prettiest ones that I do are normally where the rocks are crisscrossed in some way. It seems to be a pretty classic.
Ooh. Where's the other one? Isn't there two?
No.
I thought you had two.
It wasn't supposed to be in there. I thought I took it out.
What type of rock is this?
That's lava stone put through a tumbler.
Really? Wait, is lava stone the same as lava rock? It feels heavier.
I mean, it's just denser.
Same stuff, essentially. Do you have a tumbler?
No. No, I found a Black Friday sale. I got 25 pounds for $25.
That's not bad.
Nope. Especially now it's like 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm also very cheap, so I'm always scouring the internet for...
I've heard river rock works well with goldfish.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could definitely, I mean, you could... Have you ever used stones from like Home Depot in the big bag of?
No, I did when I first started out, and I learned my lesson really fast. Half those stones are not any good to use. Just like I won't use play sand anymore. A couple years ago, using play sand, and I was getting frustrated. I was getting all these weird algae blooms and. You know, I was doing a super high-tech tank, and it was just focused on the algae, or around the sand and where the sand was. And so I have some friends who are in the sciences, and we had a chance to examine some of the sand, and it was all kinds of different sand. It was, you know, it wasn't just like normal broken down quartz, which is like what most sand is. It was limestone and feldspar and mica and such a varied amount, and some of that stuff is not good to have in an aquarium.
Right.
So I really, for long-term tanks, I don't suggest using it. I really avoid most of the stuff. Even when you look at the listing of a lot of these stones, it's the only thing I'm stubborn about. Everything else, I'm like, yeah, try this new, you know, see what happens. But a lot of the stuff from Home Depot, a lot of the shortcuts people take, especially with like the river stones, man, or like walkways, I don't use them.
No?
It's not worth the chance. Especially when you spend like, you know, a couple $100 in plants, and then you're like, why are my plants suffering? So they're good.
Iwagumi is usually a primary stone, not wood hardscape, right?
Yep.
Waterbox says, yeah, it was hard to follow the rules. I went off the rails after 20 minutes and just went with an Iwagumi-esque too.
Also, I mean, if you're going to be posting your stuff on the internet, as I experienced the other day in High-Tech Planet Tanks, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and sometimes their opinions are just white noise and you shouldn't listen to them, but they still get under your skin, and it's just not worth the frustration of having people. I mean, you should be scaping for yourself, at the same time you do want to like show people what you're doing. So unless you have a thick skin.
I got an interesting one that I'm going to be doing a video on here very shortly of. In one of the Facebook groups, somebody asked, what fish can you put with shrimp?
Okay.
What would be your answer?
Microspores are my favorite.
Okay. So, this is a shrimp and plant group, and the question I got in a couple of responses, I chimed in with what I'm experiencing with mine, and the whole thread got deleted because the admins don't believe that anybody should put shrimp and fish together.
Oh.
So my stance is on it is if you're trying to breed for profit, probably not the best idea to put fish with the shrimp.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that you can't put fish with shrimp and still be successful with shrimp. And I just thought, people, these admins that are deleting these posts, it doesn't help the fact because now, like, the person was seeking information, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, you can put shrimp, you could get small fish and put them with them. And it was funny, it was just deleted. When you create a scape for a customer, would you usually use the same stone, or would you mix the stone type like Sirio and Oko together?
Well, that's on the customer. It's a really hard question to answer. Again, it's all about personal aesthetics. The shrimpery was on the other day, the last time I was on, or second to last time, and he suggested me mixing stones, and I did it. And somebody, a guy that might be hiring me to do a tank, he wants me to do a mixed stone.
Did he see that stream? Or?
Yeah, he saw that stream.
Oh, really?
And, I'm just waiting to hear back from him. I gave him the quote. He was a little upset with the quote.
Just for the record, Kevin is a professional, right? You're going to get what you pay for. It's like having somebody come and do a painting in your house for you. So.
Which I also do.
Yeah, well, Kevin is an artist as well. So, if anybody wants to hire Kevin for Scape, realize that it's not going to be, cheap. Also, probably not the most expensive out there.
No.
I can only imagine what some of these other guys charge.
It's all in the Scape, too. I have corporate pricing versus, private pricing. I'm just not doing a good job here. I don't.
Julie says, what did I miss? Everything. Is that spiderwood? No, this is Manzanita that's filling the tank right now. What's up, Fishy Life? They have a very healthy growing colony of red cherry shrimp in a heavily planted 10-gallon of chili reservoirs. And see, that's exactly what I talk about. It's all about getting the right fish with the right shrimp. Like the 24-karat golden shrimp, if anybody's seen the video that I did on the 55. They're huge. They're bigger than the Celeste Pearl Daniels. So there's no way that they're going to eat them. Right?
I mean, I used to keep and breed Okefenokee pygmy sunfish, who, by the way, aside from puffers, are one of the most vicious fish I've ever owned.
Really?
Yeah, they're really, really mean. You never see them, and then you see bits and pieces of, like, otos floating around in your tank. Very vicious. I only ever fed them live food. They bred for me really well, but I also had a teeming colony of cherries. You know, these cherries found a way. Nature finds a way, I guess, is the best quote for it.
Yeah, somebody says, I've got a breeding colony of crystal blues with 4 dwarf gouramis and a 12-gallon with plants. See? But yet, you know, these admins think that, you know, silence and lack of information is the best way to deal with these people. And I feel like it's, you know, you're going to run a group that's going to be there to help people, then either express your opinion on it, that you shouldn't keep any fish with shrimp, or, you know, let people chime in with what their thoughts are on it. Because if it's the overwhelming majority that's saying, no, I can keep fish with shrimp and still have shrimp breeding, you know, you may lose 1 or 2, yeah, you know, when they're just born or whatever, but, you know, if people are having success, I don't see why people get silenced like that. It's just messed up. Can't you estimate the cost per gallon for a Scape?
Cost per gallon in what way?
So you would say what? Let's see what it's saying. Price range.
It's still too symmetrical. It's all about asymmetry.
Any advice on substrate depths? What do you prefer?
Depends on what you're doing. It's again, that's not an easy answer. I mean, I've got tanks where I make sure there's only just enough sand to cover the glass in the front. Substrate only 1/2 inch deep because it was just something like baby dwarf tears and a couple of stones with a little bit of sand in front. It's all about the health of the roots of the plants. If you have a good filtration, you don't have to. I mean, it used to be 2.5 inches was
like
required.
The rule of thumb, yeah.
It's not true anymore. People have learned that if you have good filtration, good habits, that it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, yeah, some people were commenting on the shell dweller tank saying that's too much sand.
Well, they like to move the sand around. They put a lot of sand in there because it's almost pretty to have the different mounds and.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go backwards with this here. It's very hard to escape from behind and up.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a struggle for me sometimes. So I'm not using the rule of thirds, by the way, but I am going to divide this. I'm going to 3 major stones. So I'm going to take this and divide it into 3s, and my 2 main stones I'm going to use in the. So 1 stone is going to go here, and then we'll have another one go here. Sometimes you have to. I'm a big fan of drawing everything out beforehand. It's probably why I'm struggling right now. I'm not always the most spontaneous.
You? Spontaneous? Never.
I mean, I have a pole up my ass most of the time, it seems like.
Do you need more sand? I have more sand.
No, it's not about sand. I just don't want to use ochre.
Any idea if ADA sand releases silicates? My tap water has 7.8 parts per million and gave my tank the nastiest diatom problem. Have to pre-treat with Foscard.
It sounds like your tap water. If it's a new tank, I have never had a new tank not go through some kind of growing pains, be it diatoms or something, unless I'm using like a completed system. Like there are a couple systems you can, like substrate systems you can use where this gets avoided, but I mean, it's ADA. The whole point of ADA is that it's kind of like an all-inclusive sort of thing.
I really like the stone. It has like the.
I like that stone too.
Like quartz. I'm gonna steal that stone from you.
I will have to fight you. Because I got a plan for that stone.
It's tap. Good night, Helen. Later. Yeah, that stone is really nice. It just like has like that
little bit of quartz in there. Yeah. That stone for a really long time.
Is that your prize stone?
It's like one of my first pieces of cereal I ever bought.
Do you like sleep with it? Is it like
I cuddle with it.
Pressed it?
Sometimes I like to make it really cold so it can remind me of my own heart.
Interesting in using ADA sand, but interested in using ADA sand, but trying to avoid the brown evil stuff.
Here's my thing about the ADA sand. Like the Colorado sand, it's the United States. So what happens is they get it, they ship it over to China where they grind it up, package it, and then sell it back to us. You can find the exact same thing. There's pool filter sand that looks exactly the same. Yeah. For an eighth of the cost.
Really?
Yeah. There's no reason to spend money unnecessarily, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm still struggling with this. This is very unlike me.
Yeah.
Is Jake on yet? Jake, bring me food.
No, he's not on.
Is that when we can talk smack on Jake? What else is going on? What else comments?
Seong Kim says, not being able to keep fish or shrimp is ridiculous. Predation in the wild helps maintain a healthy ecosystem. Fish and shrimp can also be matched to create balance.
I like this guy.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with you. Like I said, if you're breeding shrimp for a profit, that's a whole different story. Obviously, you want everything to survive. And there's always that possibility that, hey, you do have galaxy reservoirs with the cherry shrimp, and they will pick off, the babies. But usually, if you have a healthy tank and enough hiding places, I think the shrimp could do just fine.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it all has to do with hiding places.
I'm really struggling. It's really hard the way I like to think of an iwagumi in a tank this size. It's almost square. For me, I guess if I was really going to do something that was close to iwagumi, do something I said I wasn't going to do.
You want to try the Blackstone?
No.
Are you going to do Dragon? Oh, God. Iwagumi, done.
So you going to the,
Kevin's using Dragonstone. That's the easy way out. One day we're going to crack the bottom of this.
Oh, that's okay.
Worst comes to worst, you guys can recommend Amano shrimps with fish. They're huge and so much functionality. This is true, but the question I think really pertains to like cherry shrimp and the Neos and Caridina species that breed in freshwater, because Amanos will not, they don't breed. Well,
they need saltwater to breed.
Yeah, well, don't they breed in freshwater, but they won't?
The eggs won't survive.
Yeah, the eggs won't survive without saltwater or brackish water, whatever it is. I'd love to set up like a freaking thing to breed them on. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. The whole big process. Oh, look. Rescued him.
From whom?
Margaret's cousin's boyfriend had a tank. It's one of those Noah's Ark community tanks.
Oh, okay.
With like a ghost knife, clownfish, some kind of weird cichlid that I've never seen before, a crab of some sort, and like a dwarf gourami, and he was getting picked on. Like his top fin is destroyed. So I was like,
I can see that.
I was like, give him to me. I'll try and nurse him back to health. Do you think it'll grow back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, depending on the damage.
Yeah. It looks like he's doing better. He wasn't eating. Like he was staying in his tank. He wasn't eating for me. Like he was staying in the back, but then Jake came around and fed him yesterday and he was eating, so I was like, alright. Good signs.
A little bit better, guys?
Yes. And Jeff says, I can hear the glass cracking in my headphones.
That's fine.
Derek says, I like the idea of a self-sustaining population in the tank, maybe like cherry shrimp and endlers. Yeah. Of course, like endlers and guppies will probably pick off some fish or some shrimp, but I think for the most part, shrimp will have anywhere, I think, between 20 and 40 babies, maybe more, depending on their size.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I remember when I was on Scape Tour, one of the guys that I was talking to, I used to tell him how I have a gigantic population of Malabar shrimp.
Right.
And I just use them as food for like various things. There's so many, you know, horrified. You feed them to your pistos? I'm like, oh yeah, they love them. And got really upset. Yeah.
It's cruel, Kevin. It's cruel.
It's a cruel world. Yeah. Now I'm ruining the iwagumi by putting wood in.
Jamie, I don't know if you were the same person that asked this question before. Yeah. So, Jamie says, can you figure out an average cost per gallon when it comes to scaping, or is it completely dependent on the design?
It's on the design, 100%.
Yeah, because if somebody, you know, if they want a simple uogami and they, you know, just want one plant, that's a whole lot different than doing a complete stonework that Kevin just did with all the stones stacked up back here and all
I mean, this
that.
is heavy.
Jesus, it is heavy. Holy shit! I was like, wait a minute, no, this isn't that heavy. That freaking weighs a ton. Holy shit! That's a big ass stone.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing though. This is only a couple pounds less.
Yeah, and this. Yeah.
And that's the difference.
It's half the size.
Yeah, not even like a third of the size.
Yeah, a third of the size. It's still, I mean, that is slightly heavier, but
yeah,
that's
but I mean that's
yeah.
I gotta clean that.
Yeah.
I pulled it out for you.
Nice dragonstone dome, somebody said.
So.
Wow, that's giant. Yeah, Mass, you like that? Mass Aquariums is here. Oh, you messaged me before. I didn't get a chance to respond to you. His buddy, he's been sending people my way. Appreciate it.
Oh, nice.
I need to know if anybody's been using the My Aquarium Box coupon code that we're sending out. We're doing like a cross promotion. Can you try to make a cave scape?
Oh, what is with the cave scapes?
These caves are dope. You need to do some, yeah, use the black stone. What kind of stone is this?
I always forget the name of it. I love it though.
Honey, really right now? Really right now? Really? Yeah, looks like we got about 8 minutes left or so.
Pressure, huh?
Yeah, no pressure.
Oh, I brought these.
What do you want? 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 You stink.
Let me do the other bags of
Right there?
Ah, yes, thank you.
What do you want for me? What do you want? Okay, good.
Speedscaping? Is that happening?
Should be a new classification in like the IOPC or something. Speedscapes. How many scapes can you do in 1 hour?
Oh, God.
Question of the night. What happened to the mason jar drinking glass? they're all, let's see. Oh, I think they were all washed recently, and then there was all these other cups washed, and I just picked the first one out of the cabinet. It's kind of in a rush. I had a couple of things to do this afternoon before Kevin showed up. So I wasn't thinking about the mason jar.
Give Margaret happy pills.
I like this stone.
I love this stone.
It's so, it has so many different flat edges. It's like weird. It's cool. Chat's awfully quiet right now.
Yeah, how many people are watching?
We got 50.
That's not bad.
They're all just staring at your rocks.
They should.
One day one of these stones is going to fall. That's going to be the end of this tank.
Nah.
Have you ever broken a tank with stone?
You know, I haven't. I've heard some stories in my time that have been pretty upsetting, pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Did though. I was doing a 36-inch cube, about over 200-gallon tank, and it was actually a 3-stone Iwagumi style tank. It was, one, I think, 250-pound rock, and the other two were 150.
Right.
So I had to get on a step stool, picking up this 250-pound rock, and I was leaning over and I felt something give in my back.
Damn.
And I like dropped it and I heard like a scratch. Luckily I had plexiglass on top, but there was a moment where I was like, this is the day. This is the day that I break a client's tank. And I'll never get another customer again.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Philly Man Pete says, what type of stone is that?
You know what, I'll post in the chat later. I can never remember what it is. I got it from Rachel O'Leary. So...
I think I've seen this before from the place you said.
Yeah.
Best way to escape a 55-gallon.
Get a new tank.
Yeah. I actually really want to take a 55-gallon. When we finally move that into a 75, I want to take it outside and smash it.
I am 100% for that. Why don't I like a 55-gallon tank? I'm sure you're thinking in your head the 55-gallon tank has some of the worst gas exchange.
And it has really bad circulation.
Really bad. So it's just an overall. It's really hard to light. So you get blasted with light in some places and not in others, and it's a problematic tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. If you have a 55 though, and you're unfortunate enough to have to deal with it, your kind of two options would be a Dutch style, which is not any hardscape and just a bunch of stems. Well, actually, you're left with three styles. So you could do a jungle scape with just a bunch of plants, driftwood, rocks, and wherever kind of thing. Just make it look like an overgrown jungle. Because there's a difference between an aquascape and a planted tank. So you'd make it like a planted tank. Just make it a jungle, let plants overgrow and stuff. Throw some rocks, driftwood, boom, done. Oh, all those boxes just fell. Damn it.
Why do they fall?
I don't know. The other way to scape it is similar to what I'm doing, is you scape it left to right versus front to back. And you haven't really taken a look at the 55 right now.
No, I haven't.
I'm actually really liking the way it's coming together. I'm still figuring out the right side of the tank, but the whole left side is looking like almost exactly how I want it. So,
this would be a great low-tech tank, by the way.
Yeah, that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, a quick little, get some,
Don't be jealous of the rocks that he's got. He's still Brooklyn hardscapes from the block. 55 gallons make great sumps.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the Mr. Aqua Low Iron 22 gallon.
Yes. The bookshelf tank, the long one? Oh, yeah, I love that shape.
Jared says, how about a 40 breeder instead of a 55?
Better shape.
Yeah. 40 breeders are great. I'll escape the one over here. Well, actually, we're switching, so we're going to be doing big renovations over here.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to be doing 3 stacked 75 gallons. So where the 55 is, that's going to be in 75. No, Margaret's calling. Margaret, you're interrupting my stream. Why does she know this? I'm going to do stacked 75 gallons there, a stack 75-gallon here, and then we're going to replace Lucky's tank with a 75-gallon
Oh,
stack.
nice.
So we're going to have...
Well, then we got to rescape Lucky's tank.
Yep. Guess I'll throw it away. That's probably the best idea. Or take it outside and smash it with a hammer.
Oh, yes.
And put it on YouTube. 55-gallon would make a great half land, half water tank. You could do possibly an immerse setup with
You
it.
could do a paludarium, a nice paludarium in it.
Yeah. Remove the brace around the top.
I wouldn't remove the brace from the top.
Oh, you could remove it. It's not fully full.
I mean, I still wouldn't do it.
I would.
Yes, I know you would.
Put a piece of glass in the middle to brace it.
You do a Euro brace, yeah.
And you'd be good. That's the way I would do it. 33 long, yeah. 33 long is nice.
No, I'm a 34 long.
34. Is there a 34?
No, that's my pants. Sorry, I was making a bad joke.
That's how we get demonetized, Kevin.
What? That's my pants.
There goes all the ad revenue.
Pants. That's my pants.
There goes the 50 cents we would have made off this live stream.
It wasn't even dirty that time.
Yeah. I like this. I really like this.
So, yes, that was me hitting my head again.
Hey, the TV says no internet. That's weird. Hey, I'll take a look at that baby in just a second. We're almost done here.
Do you want to run up when I do it? When I finish this up?
Well, now it's the Wi-Fi or something's going on. Yeah, you could go check on her. But we gotta wrap this up anyway. It's been an hour.
Already?
Yeah, already. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep. So, any other last minute questions, requests?
Nobody's saying anything. I
guess I'm pretty boring today.
Yeah, you're boring, Kevin. We should have smashed the 55-gallon instead.
Oh my god, that would have been great.
It's gonna be great. I told you we should have smashed the full tank.
Yeah.
That would.
I needed money to get home.
That's true.
Yeah.
Alright. The stream glitched a little, did it? Sorry.
Any last minute questions?
Are you going to put a filter in this? I'd put a lot of moss and some marinals in that scape.
Oh yeah, you could like
What?
Marimo everywhere. That would look great.
There. We got a giant tub here to our left. It's just all Marimo balls. I think it looks great. Thanks for the stream, guys. Oh yeah, the stream was a little glitch there. Dank Tank says boring. You know what, Dank Tank's fine. Be that way.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
What? That piece of wood? Alright, anyway. Let the dog escape here, right? Honey, get in the tank. Get in the tank. Alright, guys. Are you done yet? Or are you still playing around? Are you still playing with your wood, Kevin?
I'm still playing with the wood. There. Oh, it looks a little bit better, right?
I like it. I like it either way. Don't break it down, let Justice have it. It's a really cool looking tank. Should do that as a shrimp tank.
No.
We'll put some fish in it too.
You'll never see shrimp again. There's so many crannies and.
You know what? You know what's funny? You say that, but in the 55-gallon, there's all those hiding places, but yet they're all in the front of the tank.
It's because shrimp are like cows, man. They just eat and poo at the same time.
How would you skate overbuilt in overflows on a 125?
Built-in overflows?
Yeah.
And that's what I had for a tank for a while. Skate heavy, plan heavy. Don't be afraid of overflows. I just think they're unsightly.
Alrighty, guys. That's about it for today. Kevin might be back next weekend. I don't know.
I can try. Yeah.
We'll see. I'll talk to Margaret.
Talk to your wife.
See how she.
Do not pit me against your wife.
That's the last day that she'll be pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Because Thursday the baby comes out with her whether it likes it or not.
Should I do water change Wednesdays out of my house from now on?
Yeah, right.
At least for like a week. It'll be like your guest guy.
We'll see. I have a 55-gallon cherry shrimp. Oh, there you go. Alright guys, check out Brooklyn Hardscapes check out Kevin at Brooklyn Hardscapes on Instagram and Facebooks and YouTubes. Do you have YouTubes yet?
I do. We have a couple videos on YouTube.
Okay.
I just do educational stuff when I get...
With no voiceover. Very
Yeah.
boring stuff.
Yeah. Also, I have 3 speaking engagements coming up.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah?
I got a couple clubs that reached out.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
I've got, what is it, the Greater City Aquarium Society, a club out in Bucks County, and then May 5th I'm doing New Jersey Aquatic Gardeners Association.
Oh, nice. I heard.
I'll be speaking with Karen Randall.
Oh,
I believe.
then I'm going to have to come out for that then.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we'll see you on the next one. Next Wednesday will be maybe the last water change Wednesday for a week or two. Who knows? We'll have to see. New baby will bring in all sorts of new surprises, so we'll see you then.